Tuesday, number 13. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I grew up with asthma um, since I was 4, basically, and I was actually one of those sick kids. So I understand about being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Um, one of the stats I posted yesterday was 14 million kids miss school because of asthma on a yearly basis. On a yearly basis, 14 million kids miss school on a basis based from their asthma, just their asthma, right? So why is that? Well, asthma just wears your body down, and as it's wearing your body down, that gives a chance for viruses and bacteria and things to overcome you, right? So that's really what happens. It's not the asthma that's causing you to be sick. It's not your symptoms that are causing you to be sick. It's your body always trying to stay afloat so you can breathe, which is the most important thing that allows you to get sick. Like I mentioned when I started, I've had asthma since I was 4. I mean, I remember being sick all the time. I took kindergarten twice because the first time through, I missed too many days of school because I was sick. And I was sick because of asthma, pure and simple. So it is possible to overcome it, but yes, you have to do the work. So how does this work? How does just you having asthma make you more vulnerable to being sick? It's comparable to a dump. Okay, so all our garbage goes to this big landfill, right? And there's obviously rats and mice and all kinds of animals living in the landfill because that's what they eat. They eat trash, they eat garbage, they love the environment that they're in, right? So if we just go in and we kill all the rats and not do anything with the garbage, what's going to occur? The rats are just going to come in. Unless you get rid of the garbage, the rats will always be present and they'll just overtake the dump. That's the exact same thing that happens with your body. Is the germs are always all around us, right? If we have a bad environment for our body to combat the viruses, then they're always going to overtake us, right? Unless we change the environment of our body, and specifically with our lungs, with asthma, unless we change the environment of our lungs and get rid of the wheezing and the mucus buildup and all that kind of things, that's what causes viruses that's what leads to bronchitis, that's what leads to pneumonia quicker in people with asthma than with anybody, is because the environment is rich for that before it even can overtake it, right? So that's what's happening, is we're not getting rid of the garbage in our lungs. Okay, it's always there. So the rats or viruses or whatever you want to call them are always going to overtake you at some point. Okay, and that's why kids with asthma are so much sicker than other kids. Okay, the good news is, though, is there is hope with that, right? We can change the structure and function of your lungs. We can get rid of all that stuff that is prime breeding ground for the viruses. And that's what needs to happen, is we need to change the environment of our lungs and not just simply take medicine upon medicine upon medicine. It was like, oh, I'm getting sick, I better go to the doctor and get something, right? Because 80% of antibiotics don't work anymore. And you're usually taking multiple rounds, whereas 20 years ago, you took one round and conquered it, right? Or helped you feel better. Never conquered it, but made you feel better, okay? So that's what is really important is getting rid of the garbage in your lungs and changing the structure and function of your lungs so you're not sick. And the only way you do that is through multiple things. You have to eat a better diet. You have to take the right supplements, not just necessarily the supplements to boost your immune system, but the supplements to balance your immune system. You have to be seeing a chiropractor. There's just no way around that. Your nerves going to your lungs have to be working the correct way. Otherwise, you're never going to get better. Your asthma is never going to change. You may feel better, but you'll never be better. There's a difference. So those are the big three things that you need to do in order to not be sick all the time, right? There's tons of studies out there that show chiropractors' kids are healthier than other kids in their class. Okay, that's just the way life goes. And if my kids get sick and they get adjusted, they're over it within a day or two, compared to a lot of other kids that are down for a week or so. Yeah, so that's the deal: is get rid of the garbage out of your lungs, and you will not be sick as much because you're changing the structure and the way your lungs are functioning. Okay, so sorry about that. That's the big topic for today, is changing the structure and function of your lungs so the germs don't grow, so your kids don't miss school, so they can be all that they want to be, right? We're worried about, it's not just the being sick, it's what are they missing out on a daily basis by not being in school? What is causing them to fall behind that other kids don't? Because they're always having to deal with being sick or on the edge of being sick. So what are we doing to allow them to overcome that so we can allow them to grow and be whatever they want to be without limits?